Yo, what's up, guys? Recently, I bought the Zhaoxin CPU 6640ma. So with this CPU, I got a laptop with it. So it's the Zhaoxin CPU's laptop, and it's very cheap, reasonable on TB, which is around 2000 only RMB. So which is amazing because it's very cheap. And you can search on TB as well by yourself if you wanna have the Chinese made CPU Zhaoxin 6640ma. Now here is the appearance, and got the 8 GB RAM and the SSD NVMe 256 gig, and this is the appearance, and 14 inches. It's amazing. It's the good looking and good making, good fixing. It's very great because it's the instruction set is the x86, so it can run Windows as well. So it originally comes with a Windows 10 activated Windows 10, so I can use it. I'm now using Windows 10. You can see it's very smooth, and as the normal Windows PC x86 Intel or AMD, so you can see it's very great, and it has the 2.2 gigahertz, and it can automatically turn the clock rate to 2.6 gigahertz. So also, with DDR4 those kind of things, and the GPU is also Zhaoxin's C960 GPU as well. So you can see here the website of the Zhaoxin. You can see also download something drivers and those kind of things on the Zhaoxin's website, and about the company stuff in the products as well. So this is a very great. It's the kx6 series. So when you load the website or video, which is so fine, while you are listening to songs or doing other things, you can also do it very fine because it's not lagging. Very great, and everything was fine. Very great, huh? Windows 10. Okay. Yeah, Windows 10 here. So many tasks I'm opening. I'm running still is fast, smooth. It's Windows 10 professional one. So Zhaoxin Kaixian kx6640ma at 2.2 gigahertz, and you can vary to 2.6 if needed, and 8 gig RAM. You can add to a 16 gig RAM as well. So this is the system, and you can see about it hardware. This display card is a ZX C960 GPU, which is the Zhaoxin's one, Shanghai Zhaoxin Semiconductor. And those things is CPU around is the Zhaoxin's core CPU, so it's the x86 instruction set that run. So comparing to Longsun is the long ISA compatible with mixed instruction set, so you cannot run the Windows, but only Linux only can run a Linux. That's why Zhaoxin so few people to use, because cannot use the Windows. Okay, so Zhaoxin can run the Windows as well as the Linux as well. So I think it's very great now. And it comes with the Windows 10 with the activation already activated already. So with only Windows 10 professional version edition, but there is no UOS or Linux. That's why I needed to install it by myself, but you can only install the UOS with the Zhaoxin's versions, because if you install the Deepin, which is the another version of the UOS of the community version of UOS, you cannot use it because the kernel doesn't have the drivers. I think the display GPU's driver and also the UOS it has with the special versions of the Zhaoxin. So this is the special editions for Zhaoxin. So the kernel has the GPU's driver also on the the bus drivers as well. So here's the standard SATA AHCI controller. So those kind of things, you can also download the GPU drivers from the Zhaoxin's website as well, and those things are similar. So and those kind of things are great. So this is Zhaoxin Windows 10 and Zhaoxin's website, Zhaoxin, and browsing the Zhaoxin's logo. Here is exactly the same model of mine. So I am browsing the forums of talking about the Zhaoxin's, Zhaoxin's logos kx6640ma. So this is the Chinese benchmark tool with this kind of score. So I think it's great. I think it's around the level is great. It's not bad at all. So this is around 30,000 around for the mock score for the benchmark of the CPU X as well. So moreover, you see, I ran the UOS and you got the 6863 around the score from the 7ZB, and I got the Zhaoxin test is around 7,000 or 6,9 something. I think it's similar level to the Zhaoxin 38000 CPU, but 7-zip is similar to Zhaoxin's, but I don't know why the CPU X score is much better than the Zhaoxin's. I don't know why. Zhaoxin is around 10,000, but here is nearly 30,000 scores. So maybe the optimization for the x86 CPU is much better, and the GPU is much better because the GPU can play a lot of games comparing to Zhaoxin's the Zhaoxin GPU, and also the Jinzhou Micro's GPU. I don't think is better than this, the C960. So this is the taking off the cover. You can see the inside the CPU and then the RAM and the SSD here. DDR4 2666, 8 GB RAM, and we got the Chinese brand, and 4C is also Chinese brand of the NVMe SSD. And this is the price of it. Oh, that's about that. Windows here, the environment is the Windows environment. And what else I need to say? I already showed you a lot about the Windows performance, and browsing website, no problem, very smooth. Okay. Very smooth. Zhaoxin kx6640 Zhaoxin. No more news about it. Zhaoxin CPU kx6 series. Yeah. Some kind of news about the Zhaoxin CPU. Yeah. Echo Zhaoxin CPU. Internet speed is slow, so forget it. So let's see, this is about the Windows. So let me shift to Linux UOS. So we can have the full Chinese CPU plus the Chinese Linux. So we can get rid of the Intel, AMD, and Windows. See, we started. So if you have time, you can also see my other videos of the long sun thread for 1000. So it is putting up because I already installed the UOS. So at the grub stage, this grub page has the Windows boot up and Julian Tech OS UOS. So I installed the UOS 20 version, so we can choose UOS. So putting up the Linux, Chinese Linux UOS, which is all Chinese. So you don't need to use Intel, AMD, Windows, those kind of American CPU and operation system. We got our own things, CPU and OS, so we don't need to be afraid of the sanction by the other countries. That is very great for our Chinese semiconductor and software development. So here is the UOS. The laptop doesn't come with the Linux UOS, just only Windows 10, but I don't want to use Windows, so I installed the UOS by myself. And UOS, you cannot use it the community version Deepin 20 because the driver doesn't have the driver inside the kernel of the Deepin. This UOS is the special edition, so it has the GPU Zhaoxin GPU C960 inside the kernel, so I can use this. If you download the Deepin 20 when you are installing the when you are booting up the Deepin, it just stops and hangs because of the lack of the GPUs in the kernel. So you can only use the UOS, but this is only the trial versions. That's why it's a regret. So we can see UOS 20, 64-bit, and this is only the trial version. So I can only use 90 days. So to 2021, the January something. So it's the probations here. Not activated yet. So it's the Zhaoxin kx6640ma at 2.2 gigahertz. So 8 RAM, yeah. And you got the more details of the hardware. Zhaoxin, the semiconductor, and then the kernel. 4.19 of the UOS, and then 4C, and those kind of C960 GPU of the Zhaoxin CPU is the Zhaoxin core, those kind of information. MNX, or those kind of informations and bus, and then those cache and instruction sets and virtualization, L1 cache, those IDs or something, and then the RAM, 8 RAM 2666 DDR4, Sun Jump Micro Innovation Industry, the Chinese made RAM, and Chinese 4C Silicon Motions SSD by the Chinese company as well. So all Chinese RAM and SSD, all Chinese. CPU GPU is the Zhaoxin VGA GPU C960 960 GPU is that by the Zhaoxin. Later I will test it with the actual games testing. So I think it's very great because it's Zhaoxin, all Chinese made, and then the display maybe, I think it's Chinese BOE as well, maybe should be, because all Chinese, but it's the Intel Wi-Fi card, and everything is like this here. And what else? Okay, you can also, I downloaded the packet tracer, the Cisco, the packet tracers for the networking simulation as well, so you can also use it here, but also you cannot. So Zhaoxin, with this Linux UOS, you can use a packet tracer to simulate your networking situations as well, and the code bug for the C++ programming, you can also use it. So let me show you. So you can also use it. Okay, this Hello World, yeah, you can use it. You can also use it, but you have to install the G++ on the terminal in order to use it. So everything is fine. More things you can use, but the long term you cannot, because this is x86. You can use a lot of software. So when you go to the terminal, you can see it's the kernel 4.19 kernel, Deepin, DE, and Kaizen, those kind of informations as well. So I think it's very great. Moreover, kind of things. So you can also go to the App Store to download softwares, which is x86. So you can have millions of software apps you can have. So Weixin, I can have WeChat, I can have WPS Office, VOffice by a Chinese company as well. VOffice, I downloaded it already. The Linux versions, Linux x86 versions, I downloaded it. Steam, Yandex, everything, the Russian browser, and everything you can use, and game, everything, so many things you can use. And what else is the yeah, you can here download WeChat, QQ, and everything Chinese software, TeamViewer or foreign software, and the NetEase also you can use everything. The music, NetEase, you can also use it. Very great, huh? I think I installed it already. Yeah, I installed it already, so I don't need to install it now. You can play songs. Okay, very great. Long-term 2A4 version, you cannot use the NetEase music. Now I can use it. The software you can just like a normal normal x86 CPU Intel or AMD. So many software. You can see here, everything you have for developers. So those coding softwares you can have. Coding, code block, Qt creator, Qt, everything you have. CMake, so many software for free. Gaming also. So very good. Very fast as well. For browsing website while you are listening to song as well, so no problem. Huh? So fast, very smooth. For normal use, I think it's very for gaming now. Let me show you soon for gaming. Chinese-made Zhaoxin CPU hits retail market. Yeah, I'm actually using Zhaoxin kx6 series, 6000 series. I'm using 6640ma CPU. If you have the 6780A, which is much faster, it's better than my previous Intel i5 6300HQ as well, so things crazy. Talking about those kind of things. Okay, let's play the game. See, CPU using 10%. CPU usage, RAM, little bit lagging starting, but it's usable. Normal use okay. Something, 90 something. Stop. It starts to lag, but it's okay, usable, playable. I can still move it. No problem, right? Oh, it's the game time. Let's see. Steam game. I cannot use it because maybe the GPU's problem, because it doesn't support the Vulkan, so maybe it cannot use it because of the Vulkan's problem now. Let me show you. Steam game, some may be okay, some cannot. Now, after kicking it, it says cannot find a compatible Vulkan device or driver. Try updating your video driver to a more recent version and make sure your video card supports Vulkan. That's why I cannot play with this kind of card. But if you have the desktop with the Zhaoxin, with the AMD or NVIDIA GPU 3D card, I don't think it will have problem. Only the laptop with the Zhaoxin GPU has problem, I think. So another game, let's see, 10 Force. So some Steam games normally cannot play, but some can be okay, I think. But I haven't tried, so I don't want to try. So Steam normally can't. So try other things. I downloaded it on the App Store. And other games like OAD. Oops. Yeah, I can play. So this is like HR Empire. Open source freeware. You can play it. Not bad, but it's a little bit lagging. Comparing to Longson, I think it's similar. Longson 34000, I think it's similar. It's like this. Playable, but another game. This. Crazy game, man. Crazy little game. Okay, playable. And then Flare. It's like Diablo 1 open source game. Oh, very fast, very smooth. Much better than the 34000 with the Longson GPU and Jing Zhao Micro. Better than the Jing Zhao Micro GPU. Very great. Very playable. So you have game on it. And the Red Eclipse, the 3D shooting game. Jing Zhao Micro and Longson GPU. I couldn't play it, but let's see the C960 Zhaoxin, whether it's okay. I think it's okay because when I am moving the mouse cursor, it's fast, so I think it's playable as well. Let's see. Yeah, exactly playable and very smooth. What the heck? So smooth. This GPU is so great. This laptop, so great, so smooth. So smooth. So smooth. Much better than nonsense GPUs and the Jane John Michael's GPU 3D card I'm using. And another game. This one. So smooth as well. So smooth. Why? The Zhaoxin GPU C960 is so fast, so good for playing game. I can play game with this laptop. Unbelievable. Amazing. Yeah, gonna die. Watch out, you're a pretty crackhead. Man, gonna die. Do you wanna see the hell? Man, so great. So great. Unbelievable. And 3D for this 3D tank game. So great as well. Playable. Everything is playable. And I just use the default one. If I set the configurations for the GPU to be lower, I think it's much faster and smoother as well. Oh, playable, I can see. Just default. If low configuration, can you imagine how fast it is? This GPU, for the Chinese made GPUs, with this kind of level, I think is unbelievable. Expecting the next one, kx6640 series, then will be crazy. Totally get rid of the Intel, Nvidia, AMD, and those kind of things. Totally getting rid of them. Oh, this cannot work. Another one. Tank Force. Let's see. Yeah, running. Oh, Tank Force cannot run this because it's a Steam game. So I tested it before, couldn't. And this one cannot. This about Warzone. Let's see. It's a tank game as well. I think it's playable as well. The GPUs is very good, no problem. I can set to low configuration and will be faster and better. Oh, this is a little bit lagging. It's lagging. Not so smooth. Maybe some settings problem. Not so playable. But it's already okay. Very great. And about this. Oh, I played this before. So how about Synoptic? Also playable, I can feel it. Wow, very fast. Also playable. A little bit lagging because lagging. because so many people lagging. Not so good here for the explosion. Not so good. Not so good. Slow. So I need to get with it. Here it's okay. So not so good. With those kind of explosion, not so good. But with normally no people walking, I think it's fast. Level working up. So okay, that's it. So let me take a look of the laptop here. It's like this one laptop. This laptop is very great, very thin. So to sum up, it's very great. This cheap laptop, it's very cheap, and with this quality and quantity, I think it's very reasonable. Very good. This Zhaoxin's kx6640ma CPU. Very thin and good looking. USB and also HDMI and Type C as well. So it's very great with the adapter. So hope you guys enjoy it. Leave the comments below to talk about the Chinese CPU and OS as well, and look for my other videos about the Chinese CPU, Zhaoxin, and also the OS, those kind of Chinese stuff. So peace out.